Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it doesn't work without you guys. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up my football guys. Wake up, guys. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, wrong remote. Wrong remote. Wake up. Wake up. There we go. I got a remote for those, and then I have the remotes for the underlights that I go here. So, we got all kinds of stuff up in this place. Probably too much stuff. But it works for the most part. So it's Saturday morning, and I'm up actually a little bit early today. I have to go down the country. I've got some maintenance issues I got to take care of. I'm going to be wearing my mask, wearing my rubber gloves, everything else. Go in, get what I need to done, get out, change my clothes, sanitize, and all that, and get my hind parts back up the road. Because I got a lot of work to do here. We got racks galore to do because of you guys. Wow, it's a lot to do, but I'm thankful that I have something to do to keep me busy and things. And somebody else who's probably thankful right now that they signed a contract after being a number one first-round draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys, going to America's team, and then going to the Miami Dolphins, where he proceeded to get 5 sacks, was then let go and cleared waivers, so his rookie deal is null and void, has now signed a contract with the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. It's amazing how many former Dallas Cowboy players have ended up in Kansas City. Seriously. So he's there. Congratulations to Taco. Hopefully you can get yourself together where you can have a productive career and everything else. But it sounds like it was an attitude problem, not only here with Dallas, but also in Miami, that caused him to get released. I mean, 5 sacks is not, anything to sneak on, especially when he didn't have a full season. But evidently, we're better without you, bro. So you need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Man, last night, I lost my cool. I went off on them damn Eagles, man. Them Eagle trolls, man, they can have a way of getting under your skin. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with some of you people? You talk about Dallas Cowboy fans being delusional. You think that you guys were the greatest thing since sliced bread. You and Philly 500, let my people go. Man, get out of here with that garbage, okay? You got one Super Bowl. Congratulations. Now move on. Because as Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately? But y'all seem to be kind of butthurt, and maybe this is the reason why. Stephen Jones, who's being more vocal, he was on SportsCenter the other night. Yesterday, he was on the Scott Van Pelt show. So he's doing the rounds on ESPN. And he was talking about Ceedee. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ceedee. From time to time, understand, listen to me. I will say things wrong. I do one takes. There's no script. There's no teleprompter here. There's no crew writing down everything I need to do. This stuff is like off my head. And this brain has been scrambled quite a few times. This brain has been scrambled. So understand, I will make mistakes. Sometimes I might say CC as opposed to CD, okay? Understand, I will do that from time to time, okay? But let me go through what Stephen Jones, because I always tell you, pay attention to what Stephen Jones has to say. Stephen Jones is going to tell you like it really is. He's not going to, embellish stories. He's not going to come up with some metaphors about getting your arm cut off or anything like that. Stephen Jones is pretty much going to tell you what he's going to do, and then he's going to do it. Jones' comment on quarterback Dak Prescott's contract stole the whole headlines, but what he said about his newest weapon, Ceedee Lamb, was important as well. Jones told Scott Van Pelt that Lamb was the best player on their board. Not the best player left. He was numero uno. better than everybody, than Tua, better than Burrow, better than Chase Young. This was the best guy they deemed on the charts. He went on to say he wanted to surround Dak Prescott with good football players, and Lamb is certainly one of those guys. Lamb was incredibly productive in college, going over 1,000 yards receiving in both 2018 and 2019. Lamb caught 60-plus balls in each of those seasons as well and scored 32 touchdowns over his 3 collegiate seasons. Many considered Ceedee Lamb the best wide receiver in the 2020 draft, but ended up being the third one taken in the first round. Alabama teammate Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy were both ahead of Lamb, but there was no doubt the Cowboys were ecstatic to have the Oklahoma playmaker and to fall in their lap. What's so important about Stephen Jones' comment, though, is what he indicated about the Dallas Cowboys draft strategy. This is key. Rather than reaching for a player they ranked below Lamb simply because it may have been a bigger position of need, they went on with the best player on the board and lived with the results. They seemed to keep this strategy throughout the rest of the draft and ended up landing good players and strong prospects in every round. This hasn't always been the case in Dallas, most notably when the Cowboys reportedly window dressed the board selecting defensive tackle Taco Charlton in 2017. The best player available as a strategy is often a lie, but the Cowboys live by that mantra for the majority of the draft. And that's true because you can look at not just Taco, you can also look at Tristan Hill. That we looked, you have to, oh God, I hate to say it, but I actually enjoyed being in Philadelphia. It's hard to believe, but that draft was actually a lot of fun. But you had to look at the Dallas Cowboys because going into the 2017 season, as everybody said, ain't nobody on that defensive line. D-Law was coming off of a year that he had 1 sack, back surgery in the offseason, and a 4-game PED suspension. Nobody knew D-Law was going to step up the way he did in 2017. Tyrone Crawford was looking to be your best defensive lineman in the lot. Malik Collins had shown some flashes, but had injured his ankle in the season. And so the Cowboys were desperate for defensive line help. And the way that draft was going, defensive linemen and edge rushers were flying off the board. And they reached for Taco. There weren't a lot of, guys you plug in and say, this guy is going to be the one. They looked at Taco and said, we have a need here. We got to get a guy to do this. And they got him. Now, granted, they could have gotten T.J. Watt, but he didn't fit their mold of players deemed by Rod Martinelli. And so that's how we got Taco. And in a way, you could almost look at Tristan Hill, too. That Tristan Hill, you had Warren Thornhill, safety, who was taking 2 picks after us. You still looked at that defensive line and said, we need some more help there. And that's why you reach for those guys. And so the Cowboys seem to have gone in free agency saying, let's try and plug the holes as best we can with some good free agents that won't cost us an arm and 3 legs. And that's why you saw Gerald McCoy, Don Terry Poe. That's where you saw us going through and getting the tight end, blocking tight end. Can't think of his name now. But they went through and got Ha-Ha Clinton Dix and said, okay, if there's somebody that's great that's falling there, we're going to take that one. We can improve a spot, and we'll do it. But we won't be married and locking us into just this one position. And there's some positions that early in the draft, as I pointed out, aren't high picks. Safety generally is not. You're not going to have 5 safeties get drafted in the first round. You're not going to have nose tackles, 5 of them drafted in the first round. So as you get into the draft strategically, those playmakers or those best of those positions you can get later on. And that's where you look at Gilmore. Gilmore, when I did my draft procrastination or mock draft, whatever you want to call it, I said, you look at it as trying to take the best player available. And when you look at the draft, some players' positions, you'll be able to get a premium at that 17 pick. And one of those was like nose tackle or safety. It turned out we ended up getting the Cowboys' best player that they had on the board, Ceedee, to the chagrin or the butthurt Eagles, who didn't. And we also got probably the best interior lineman out there in the Canadian Bulldozer. So for this draft, at least early, and you don't really know for 2 or 3 years from now how a draft really works out. On paper, this was an incredible draft. And we'll see how it goes for us this year. I deem it, well, okay, my criteria for a draft that was good is you get an impact player day one that makes your team better. 2, you get another starter. 3, you get some great depth. And 4, you get a special team standout. Anything more than that is outstanding in a draft. And right now, you look at Ceedee going to be that impact player. I think Gilmore, he's going to be a starter. I think Diggs is going to be a starter. I think our center, he's going to be in the mix to try and become a starter, and he's definitely going to be some great depth. So from this standpoint of this draft, we've done everything. We'll see how it gets when they get on the field, but right now, you got to give them an A. All right, so let me get ready to hit the road. I'm going to be on the road again for a few hours, and I'll see you down on the other side. I'm Mark Holmes, and hoping you're having a great Saturday.